is à la mode, a short version of the talk show à la mode and presented online with one or maximum two guests, either on link or here with me on stage. And the talk show à la mode is presented twice a year at Uppsala Konsert and Congress and is a platform for the arts, dance, music, visual art, fashion, design, and social issues. And a lot of my guests are therefore artists. And today, I'd like you to meet Fabio Liberti, a choreographer, Italian choreographer who lives in Copenhagen but works all over the world. We are recording this May 11th, and we've been in this corona situation for a couple of months, right? So, welcome, Fabio.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much, Maud.
I spoke to you when you took the train from Slovenia to Italy.
Yes.
Remember that? Yes.
I remember that because it was the last job I could do before COVID-19. So it was my last job before the
Yes.
lockdown. I went there
Mm.
visiting my family. That was the 2nd of March. And then the 1 week later, the country got in total lockdown
Mm.
because of the virus. Yeah.
Mm.
So I was then stuck there
Mm-hmm.
for a month, uh, sharing this particular experience with my family.
I'm sure it was a big experience. I mean,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
a deep experience, but could you share something and what happened with, I mean, on a personal level is one thing, but you as a professional is something else because you suddenly
Yeah.
3 weeks of no,
Yeah.
not being able to work as usual.
It was a total lockdown, and it was a very strong feeling because it's not much the staying at home part. Um, it's the feeling that the government, it's you realize power. Of course, they had a cause that was a health. They had a very good reason, but I remember thinking, wow, they can do this. They can actually decide that we have to stay home, and there were police driving the car, like for instance, where I live in Italy, I never seen a car police passing there. It's not like a main street. And then of course at the same time the TV was the news were constantly on, because it was very unfortunately the people that were dying, and the hospitals were living a very dramatic situation where the doctors and the nurses were
Mm.
really struggling to keep up.
But now you're in Copenhagen, you're back in Denmark.
Yeah, there was a period of there was that decision to be taken because
Mm.
I have a production in. Of course, everything stopped and the arts stopped. At the same time, I have to say that the dance community has been incredible in the way that have been reacting. I could see, like everybody could see right away, there was a lot of online activities. There was a lot of classes given for free by teachers. There was a lot of companies who share their work for free online. Uh, there's been like a lot happening, which has been really impressive. I have to say, it really made me feel a very alive dance community that wanted to share. In the beginning, you feel lost a little bit. You're also used to have a bit of control, and you also have to let go, especially like if you have jobs that have been canceled, and of course you care about the jobs, so you
But
have to let go. You're like, okay, I have to let this go. But then I had this production that I'm working now, which is my first full uh, independent production in Copenhagen. So this was and the rehearsals were supposed to start the 27th of April, And when the lockdown started in Italy, this was the 8th of March, um, and it was very unclear, like what was gonna happen. So I would have meeting on online with my team in Denmark. And for me, I have to say, I'm going to be honest, in that moment, the situation in Italy was so dramatic that it was hard for me to imagine that we would just go on with the production. It was hard to imagine that we would go to a studio and just work and, do dance and choreography. Okay, I can be very personal. I usually am anyway. Then it happened that my grandmother passed away, not from COVID-19, but because of COVID-19, of course, we could not have a funeral. This was very strong for the family. Of course, we wanted to be close to her, and we couldn't. Only one person, luckily, because it wasn't COVID-19, one person could be close to her, so her daughter was close to her. And then somehow this was a very difficult situation, and it was very painful, and actually it pushed me to go to Denmark. It pushed me to take that decision and go like, okay, oh,
And then there
and
were light.
it kind of
Yes. From the Italian darkness into the Danish light. And now you've decided to go on with this production, but when were you supposed to have a premiere, and when are you
yeah,
like what are you doing?
yeah, because the theater is closed, but we will premiere the 27th of May online. It will be one performance, because we will just premiere it and then we put it on hold, and then in the spring 2021 we will put it to, hopefully, when things will be better and the world will be healthier, we will put it on stage with a live audience.
But do you think when you will embark the next project or the next after that, whatever in order, whatever it is, do you think you will create something from that specific situation, that month in Italy that was very strong for you? Do you think you will use that in any way?
I think it will require a little bit of time to process. It is not clear. It is not so clear to me what has happened, because the feelings were contrasting. Because uh, a part of me was relieved, because we live such a chaotic life, that when I manage, as before I mentioned, you have to let go. When I managed to let go, uh, that I wasn't in control, that my jobs had been canceled, that we didn't know even when we would have been ever able to go back, and my colleagues in Italy, they still don't know. So I'm living a very privileged situation. Um, but then when I let go, and then there was a moment that I was relieved, and you start questioning, like, what kind of life do we live, and why is it always constantly so active and chaotic?
Is there
Yeah,
something that you'd like to say and share that you haven't shared?
there is a little bit of opening now, but nobody's talking about the arts. It's almost forgotten. It's like it's not in the plan. It's not like there's nobody that mentioned we will get to that. It just have not been mentioned for now 2 months and a half. So that makes me feel privileged, and at the same time almost guilty. you know,
But what is the
it's
piece
not,
called that you're premiering?
the piece is called hashtag as if I looked like me. It's a piece about our relationship with the virtual version of us. So the virtual personalities we create online, whether we are aware of those, and whether we have any relationship. So it's to make it very short, it's a little bit on how we use social media. It is not a criticism at all. It's just a little observation and maybe a question whether we are aware of the way and whether we use it the best way, or we use it the way we think or we want. If you would like to join the 27th of May, there is a Facebook page on my name, Fabio Liberti, and there is an event, hashtag as if I looked like me. So there you can find all the informations.
And that's just in a few days because we are recording this May 11th, but we're going to show this episode May 22nd, so it's just 5 days away. Good luck with your work. Good luck to
yes,
you and to all of your team. And I want to say thank you for joining me here today. And I mean, to
thank you for inviting me.
have a glimpse into your life and how you deal with it and how you create. And this is, of course, difficult to do short because it's so much. It's so many layers of things that has happened to you and how you deal with that. But like you said before, you're always personal, and that's what makes your work so rich also, you and your personal way of being as a human and as an artist. And I want to say thank you to the audience for having joined us. And we will have a new episode next week. So first, check out Fabio Liberti's work, May 27th, and then we have another show, and it's going to be Andrea Starr Reese. She's a photojournalist from New York. So thank you for joining us, and see you next week. Bye.